Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Stock Market Today. It's Alissa, Coram, and Ken Shreve here. And Ken, go ahead and give us a quick rundown of what we're going to be talking about today.
It was a tough day for the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. Chip stocks weakened after a strong day yesterday, but a great day for retail stocks. And we'll be sure to talk about a big earnings report from BJ's Wholesale Club.
Yes, we'll get to those, but first let's take a look at the major indexes, starting off with the chart of the S&P 500 here, which closed down about 0.8% for the day as the market rally paused. The Nasdaq tech-heavy index closed down about 1% today, while the Dow closed down about 0.4%. So, we're continuing on this strong rally, but pausing today, Ken.
Yeah, definitely. And I wanted to take a look at a chart of the S&P 500 because it is going to likely face a pretty key test here at its 200-day moving average, which pretty much corresponds to the 3,000 level. So the selling today was mostly concentrated in the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq. The Dow, I think at last check, was only down about 0.4 for the session, but the S&P and Nasdaq still have pretty nice percentage gains for the week, and all of the top performing groups today, despite a rough day for the market, were retail related groups. So that's a good sign, I guess.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at some of those retail related names, starting off with, like you said, BJ's Wholesale Club gaining 22% in heavy turnover here today after breaking out of a cup with handle base, just surging higher today on that quarterly earnings report and finishing near session highs today. So a very bullish gain.
Yeah. This stock opened strong and just seemed to get stronger as the day wore on. But you can see on this MarketSmith chart just an incredible earnings report. You can see the revenues up 21% to almost 3.8 billion. The consensus estimate was 3.3 billion. So you're talking a very big revenue beat. Same-store sales were almost triple expectations. Same-store sales up about 19.9%. I think the consensus estimate was for a gain of about 5.8%, a big earnings beat as well. So, it's a bit counterintuitive to see retail stocks doing so well, but clearly the results at BJ's were quite impressive.
Yes, they were. And I guess it just speaks to where we are in our economy right now, a flood of people, even more so perhaps, going to those discounters for their goods that they need. And also, let's talk about the stock, because with a big gain like this, how do you handle that? Because when you're looking at something like this tomorrow, is it too late? Did you miss your chance? Because when we're talking about these earnings gaps, we really like to look at those intraday charts and try to get an optimal price. But how do you handle this now that we've seen today's gain? How do you approach the stock tomorrow?
Well, I mean, definitely look at the stock as being extended at this point, but you're right. When a stock opens and it does gap up in price, we like to look at that 5-minute bar on the intraday chart, and if it can take out the 5-minute high, we will look at that as actionable. So definitely BJ's was actionable early in the session, but it's extended now. But when you have such a powerful move like this, this is really a good one for the watch list, because you would expect a stock like this, because the move is so powerful, it could just trade sideways from here right around that 35 level and perhaps give an alternate entry. But it was such a strong earnings report. I think this one is still bears watching for possible new entry down the line.
Yes, a great one for the watch list. And let's also check in on another retailer we've been keeping tabs on, and that is Lululemon, ticker LULU. And it is now at new highs, and it gained about 3.5% today. So just continuing to extend its gains. I will say this one was a little bit of a tricky one to handle, because we did see quite a sharp sell-off during the crash, but it recovered very quickly. Where do you think were the optimal areas to get in? I know it had a handle. Would you consider this one to be a little bit extended now?
We actually had this stock on leaderboard for a short while, and that was when it broke out over a little handle entry with a 237.59 buy point. And yeah, that's it right there, exactly right. And you can see it crossed the buy point, and then it fell for 2 days in a row. Especially that second day, it really plunged, and volume was very heavy. And we just looked at that price action as very abnormal, and decided to to exit the stock. It ended up being the wrong decision, but this is clearly a retailer worth watching. They're going to be reporting earnings in June, and earnings and sales are expected to decline from the year ago quarter, and that you can look down on this MarketSmith chart and see the tremendous bottom line and top line growth that Lulu has shown in recent quarters. So when they report in June, not surprisingly, earnings and sales will be down year over year. But I was just talking with my colleague David Chung here. This is a company that has a very sticky, loyal customer base, and
Yes.
retailers are, a lot of them are in trouble here and wondering how they're going to survive. We're starting to see bankruptcy filings, but I think Lulu is going to be one of these retailers left standing, and certainly the chart is telling that story too. Pretty impressive that the stock hit an all-time high today.
Yeah, a cult following for sure. And now that a lot of people are still working from home, they're not putting on suits or fancy pants and dresses. They want to be comfortable, and what's comfortable? Stretchy yoga pants. So,
Yeah, no
just
doubt
saying.
about it. And Lulu is a company that also has been investing heavily in digital, and we've been talking a lot about companies investing in their e-commerce offerings. And Lulu is showing great growth in terms of digital sales, and wouldn't be surprised to see really strong numbers on this front when they report earnings in June.
Yeah, that'll definitely be a report to watch. And last but not least, let's talk about Pool Corp. Ticker is Pool. And we saw a gain of about 3.3% above average turnover today. This one also extending its gains after a cup with handle breakout, still in that buy zone here. But Ken, this is another story with coronavirus. Now that people aren't traveling and going on vacation, they're having staycations and spending maybe a little bit more time outside in their backyards. If they have a pool, definitely want to feel like they're in paradise, even though they are not able to really leave their homes.
Yeah, and you can probably call Pool the retailer that no one has ever heard of, but this is a company that is, they basically operate pool equipment and supply centers around the U.S., but you mentioned there's a pretty clear identifiable buy point on the chart here of 229.98. We don't like to buy a stock when it moves more than 5% past the buy zone, and we have Pool still in that 5% buy zone. So we look at a stock like BJ's that we looked at earlier as probably too extended at this point, but Pool is definitely in buy range. And I love on the volume bars on the bottom of the chart here, you can see this is a stock that is really showing nice signs of accumulation. You see these blue volume bars that are all above average, excellent annotations there. But this is a stock that really, it looks like it's under accumulation by a lot of fund managers, and that's really a key point for individual investors. You want to buy stocks that are under accumulation, not distribution and on the way down. So Pool is under accumulation here. It's a good looking breakout so far.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Ken, but I really wish I had a pool right now.
Yeah.
I would be buying all the cleaning equipment and getting that pool in tip-top shape.
Yeah,
Enjoy. So
their
jealous of
businesses.
those of you out there.
I think business is pretty strong at Pool, and again, the chart is telling a pretty bullish story here.
That it is. All right, everyone. You can be sure that the conversation will continue tomorrow morning on IBD Live. That's our morning live stream for the first hour plus of trade, where we are sharing our screens, discussing overall market conditions and actionable buying opportunities as they happen, which is pretty incredible.
Well, I know Alissa Coram is going to be bringing her A game on the show tomorrow. I'll be handling questions like I normally do on Friday, but we've been having a good time on IBD Live, and we'll have a great show again tomorrow.
Yeah, so come join us. You can check it out at investors.com/IBD Live if you have not already. And that's it for today. Just remember that these conversations are for informational and educational purposes only. So make sure to do your own research. And on that note, we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Thanks for watching.